Hello and welcome back to Wild Sun Art Studio. My name is Robinsunne and we're going in a little different direction today. Please like if you like, comment if you want, subscribe if you want more, and share this with friends who can share the art with you. So today, I think the last video I made was making some really fun little rubber stamps, and this was for a postcard, and so it's 3 inches by 2 inches. If I blow it up to 200%, I get a 4x6 postcard, which was my point. And then I thought, well, I can actually use this size in a little journal. So I stamped out a bunch of things and I punched out some punches, and then I started making a journal. All right, so I'm going to move these up and away and show you the journal. So this is my cute little journal. And I think it's going to take me a couple of different videos. These are little cards that go in and out in their cute little tucks. I don't know if you can see, but that's a little feather that's been all fringed. I'll find you another one. These cards all move. See, this is one of the rubber stamps that I used as pockets. And I will show you how to make these, but I think not today. Today I want to show you how to make this book. So you see that feather? Yeah, and you can see all the little fringes. So this too, I doubled up on this scallop and the star and the feather to make a pocket for some little cards. I haven't decided if there's more decoration that needs to go on those cards. Oh, and I should show you that there are cards up here, and I want to round those corners, and there's pencil marks, so I have to get rid of that. Yeah, this particular page is really stiff. I might have to do something different about that, because it has a pocket on this side and it has a pocket on this side. More. See, I decorated this card and I also rounded the corners, and I like that. And look, you see the pocket? I put plastic on the back. So it's just a lovely, and I love how detailed this is. Excuse me, frog. And I want all of my pages to look as wonderful and detailed. Oh, this was the heart one. I love my heart stamp. I put it on the back. So just another double tuck. Yeah, so I still have a couple of pages to go, which is fine, because I have lots of toys to play with. But I wanted to show you how I made this journal. And yes, it gets a little alligator mouthy. Look at all the little tabs. There are 2 on the side. Actually, there are 3 on the side, but I changed up the gluing there. And that's the spine. And there actually isn't, sort of an outer covering, but you could put one on. I didn't even think about that. I could have put one on. I could have. So maybe we can do that in the one that we're going to do this morning. So what I have, this is the base, and there's no way to show this huge piece of paper. This is a Canson My Tent. I'm not really sure. I'm pretty sure that's French. Anyway, this is almost 20 inches by a little more than 25 inches. What does that say? 50 by 65 centimeters. So it comes with that little tag. So this is our great big huge piece of paper, but we're going to make it a little more manageable. I want you to, I can show you this corner. I want you to fold this big, huge piece of paper. And if you don't have a huge piece of paper, there are a couple of options. One option is that you can just do this with a piece of 12 by 12 or 8.5 by 11 or A4, whatever you've got. The other option is that you can cut open a brown paper shopping bag and use that. And that will give you, I think that will give you a piece of paper that's even more than this. And I was thinking, if you wanted to get rid of some of the wrinkles, you know, that happen where the folds in a shopping bag are, you can iron paper, actually, and use a little steam. That'll help. Just a little, and be careful, because, you know, basically an iron will burn up a piece of paper. But just take it slowly, and the grocery bag is actually pretty tough. So I want you, when you're doing your folding, to be very specific when you're making these folds. I want you to get them as even as you possibly can. And I'm saying that, and I am not always a perfect folder. But as much as you can, try to make that as neat as you can. Actually, you know, I bet it would be a look if you didn't make it as neat as you could. You know, if it was kind of wonky. I'm going to pull this around so that the fold is facing me and I can better see exactly where the paper is going. And definitely take a bone folder to sharpen all these creases. And if you don't have a bone folder, the plastic handle on your scissors could work too. Take, I don't know, be easy on your paper. This is actually a little sharper than the side of a something that's made to be a bone folder. You know what actually also works really, really well is a Sharpie pen. The side of the pen is so smooth and round. Actually, don't even bother with the scissors handle. If you have a pen like a Sharpie or a Sharpie, it's just so flat and smooth and round. Flat as in, do I have a pencil? Like, this is my Micron pen, and you see how there's kind of little edges right there. So that's not as good. Here's just a regular old pen, and even though it has a little groove right here where the two colors of plastic are, this still would be pretty good. Although Sharpie is better because there are no grooves, there's nothing going on there that could, I mean, we want to break down the fibers enough to get a really good fold, but we don't want to, you know, tear the papers. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm folding things in half and in half and in half. And I'm just doing one. The Canson paper is pretty thick. And you definitely don't want to fold more than one layer of paper at a time. So that's why first I folded the whole piece of paper in half, and then I folded, sorry, I meant to tell you this. I folded the quarters, first this side, and then I folded this side. Now I have folded this into an eighth and this side into an eighth, and that still leaves me with the center. So what I'm going to do here, it's so thick that if you fold two sides at the two layers of paper at the same time, the outside layer is going to have farther to go. Also, the possibility of not getting a pretty precise fold, excuse me, is bigger when you have two layers. So just take your time. Do it one at a time. Excuse me. Oh, I'm so sorry. So just carefully. So this is the long width, and I've got eight folds. So what I'm going to do, just to make sure that these folds are going to really keep working with me, is I want you to fold all of these folds backwards. And you can bone folder all of those too. Actually, catching all of them, but I will. So just keep folding back and forth, bone folder, all the directions, all the edges. I think I get a little nervous when I'm making these videos. And I'm also trying to figure out the whole art of everything. I keep messing up on my words. Bear with me, please. There we go. So just, sort of go back and forth a couple of times, and that should actually loosen up these folds a bunch and make your paper a little more manageable when we open the whole thing up, and we're going to fold it in the long direction. So this is wide. We're going to turn it 90 degrees. And fold it this way, which is a little tricky because we've done all these, sideways folds, and now we're folding it in the opposite direction, and the paper is going to say, what are you doing? Totally, what a mess. But it won't be. Ooh, I got that pretty straight. Good for me. Again, do your bone folder as we go. Now we're going to fold the top to the top. And we're only going to have 4 parts on this side. So that'll make sense to you. The side the direction that's longer is going to have 8 folds. And the direction that's shorter is going to have 4 folds. And this piece of paper is a little bit smaller than the piece of paper I used for this. This is like the Canson paper. This paper is a little heavier, and I can't remember what it is. I'm really sorry. I threw away the little sticker, if there even was a little sticker on it. But, you know, poke around Dick Blick, or go to your local Michael's or whatever you've got, or even Amazon. Actually, I think Dick Blick has a, like, you can order from Dick Blick and then check out via Amazon, which is, you know, super convenient, but that's a thing. Okay, so now we've got these 4 folds. Let me show you. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And I want you to fold these backwards too. A couple of times. Keep flattening everything with your bone folder. You just tell that piece of paper what you're doing and expect it to fold. In my experience, I have a firm hand. Yes, that whole firm hand with children thing is actually not amusing. It is, you know, semi-stupid. There we go. All right, so that was folded. That was actually folded sort of badly. Let's see if I can correct that. Did I do it? I think so. So you're watching me fold paper. Maybe not the most interesting thing, but after years and years of cutting, I have found that cutting paper, I have found that it's very helpful to make these creases very, very clear. And it does give you a little sort of ridgy thing. I don't know if the light's gonna, can you see there's sort of a little bump in the paper there. And that's just a thing. And it's just a part of, yeah, you can see it here in the book. They're just little ridges, and it's a part of the character of the book, and we just live with it. I don't know, maybe you could go over and, you know, sort of bone folder some of these out, but for now, don't let the ridges be there. It's going to help us cut. And I did a prototype here. This piece of paper is a little confusing. There are 2 cuts that we can use to make this book, and I actually did the wrong cut on this book, and I missed a bunch of pages. So this book is shorter than this yellow book is going to end up being. So the first one, disregard the red on this side of the paper. If you'll notice that, oh here, let's do this side first. I've drawn all the folds in pencil, so you can cut up the first full line and take this very slowly and really make sure your blade is right on the little ridgy of the fold. So cut straight up, and we're making sort of a spiral out of the book. And I should actually do that for you. Hold that thought. There are 2 choices. You can do the spiral, which is in red, or you can cut up the middle and do this sort of fountain thing. And you'll see both of these options give you I'm going to do this kind of messy so I can do it fast for you. I'm sorry, I didn't think to do this for you ahead of time. So we're going to watch me folding paper again. Yay! All right, so how are you all? I hope you're well. I hope you are happy. This is a really cool thing. I've been thinking a lot about this idea of making journals to put through the mail if you have a group of, I'm going to do what I tell you not to do and fold two sides together just for expediency. And this one doesn't have to be perfect because I'm just showing you the cuts. Whoops. All right, that's like way imperfect. Oh, so anyway, I've had this great idea about having journals that you send through the mail. I'm going to make a video series about this too. That you send through the mail, and one person makes the journal, and then the next person, it would work best if you had a whole group of people. All right, I don't know if you can see it, but there are all the, folds here. So I'm going to do the waterfall one. I'm going to cut up the center and off to the right, but stop right here. Don't cut off that last piece. And then, we've stopped from the edge here too. And come all the way down, but stop. Sorry, I hope you saw that. So we start at the bottom of the page and we cut up and around, but stop before the last box. Leave this attached and stop right here before the last box. And I'll show you, it makes a continuous shape. I'm being super messy here, but I just want you to have something to do. It takes, I think, 13 hours for my videos to upload, which seems really crazy. It used to take 2. When I had the old YouTube system, and they made me switch over to the new system, and now it takes 6 times as long, or 7 even. So we have, there's our little paper, right? So that was our waterfall, up and off to the left, and up and off to the right. And we've stopped and left that connected at the bottom of both sides. So then you start at one end and you just zigzag fold back and forth and back. And then when you get to the end, you fold the long ways. And then you just go back and forth and back and forth all the way up until you reach another sideways one. So you just fold sideways until you get to the long again, and then you go back and forth and back. Sometimes you have to sort of retrain one of the folds. Go back and forth till you hit a sideways one, fold that way, and go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So we kind of sharpen when we're working with the big paper. We'll make very careful folds and sharpen that. And what you get is, well, actually, this is interesting how that works. Oh no, it does work this way. Okay, in one of the directions, you get a page that opens kind of like that. So that's the direction to hold the book for the front cover and the back cover. And then you've got lots of pages. Now there's another thing that we're going to do, and you'll enjoy this. And I'm seriously running out of time. So I'm not going to show you until next time. But this is the waterfall cut. If you want to use the other way, or if you want to practice with both ways, you start down off the page and you cut up in a spiral, and you stop before you get to the top, one box away, and you go to the corner, one box away, and cut down, and you're one box away, and you go to the middle, and then you go up the center, and you stop one box away so that this is still connected. So come back here. Let me show you this way. So you make a spiral inside, right along the edges of the folds. And you just cut really slowly and carefully. And then when you're putting your book together, you fold back and forth and back and forth, and then you fold sideways, and then you fold back and forth and back and forth, fold sideways, back and forth and back and forth, sideways, back and forth and back and forth. And it basically gives you the same general pattern of a book of folded pages. And I have 4 minutes left. We can go over the specifics, but in the next video, and I'm sorry it's going to take me 24 hours to get there for you because it takes so long to upload. What I discovered was this is the way I want to open the book, right? I figured out that if I glued this space together, I could make it a pocket. So if I glued it on the bottom and on the side back there, like that, and left it open at the top, it makes a pocket right in there. I mean, how cool is that? So then on the next page too, I'd glue it on the bottom and on the side, back, and leave the top open. You can even punch a little thumb hole punch, which I did in this book. Do you see how I punched a little thumb hole, and then I still cut the cards too small, so I added tabs on the top with the same size punch as the thumb hole, and so it all sort of goes together. So you just do that all the way down, and there's this little tricky space right here where you can glue the bottom and the back on this side and the bottom and the back on this side, but then you still have this wonky fold. So glue the back and the side, and you'll have, makes it a little tricky. You'll have 3 pockets together, and it happened on this one. Remember I said I had a lot of trouble getting this card in and out? And that's because it's glued to one of the side pockets. So, listen, I'll talk you through the gluing. I'll wait till the next video and talk you through the gluing. So make the big paper part of your book, and see what kinds of very flat embellishments. This book does not have room for things with lots of fluff. So see what kinds of rubber stamps you've got, or little drawings you could make. You could even copy some of the drawings. You can use paper punches. This is interesting that all my greens are the ones that are left over. I guess I've used a lot of the blues. So get that all together, and in the next video, I'll walk you through the gluing of this book. And I think I'm not going to use the